Hi friends, it's been a little while since I've done an in-depth tarot deck review, and I know I'm a little late to the party with this deck, but it is so interesting and unusual and really such a delight to work with that I really wanted to devote some time to give you my thoughts on this deck. I personally am still searching for that perfect tarot deck. This is not perfect for me, but it's very good. It's got a lot of unusual benefits to it, and I couldn't use it in all circumstances, but just in general, I'm really glad I did order it. I waited for a couple of years before I finally broke down and ordered it, and now I'm really glad that I have it, and I'm sorry that I waited. So first we'll take a little look at the packaging. It's got this nice cardboard box, and it's got a magnetic flap closure. Very nice and sturdy. Inside here we see the same image as what you see on the card backs, the symbols of the elements, and along with the infinity lemniscate. And that's a symbol of infinity because that's the circle that you can continually trace, and it just never ends. Infinity symbol. All right, then we have a nice book. Now on first glance, this book appears to be a big book that would take a lot to get through, but actually it's pretty basic. There's a lot of white space in the book. The print is large. I read through about half of this book in about an hour, so it's not hard to get through it all, like some of the tarot books you might pick up. Basically, there's just a couple pages on this deck and reading in general, and there's a couple pages on spreads. Then they have a page or two on each of the cards. There's a grayscale image of each card with keywords and a few little paragraphs on each card. Not a lot, but enough. So we go through the trumps, and then every card of the minors is also treated the same way in the book. So there you have the book. Very nice effort there. Then the cards, they're made to be kept in this box. They can be removed easily. So it's nice. I mean, it's big to have this on your shelf, but it'll protect the cards, and what the heck, you'll be able to find them more easily because the box is bigger, right? Got to look for the positives. So the cards themselves, there's the backing we were talking about earlier with the elemental symbols and the infinity sign. Pretty nice stock. It's kind of glossy, and the cards are kind of slick actually. They really slide around on each other. So let's take a minute here and start going through the cards themselves. So here we have some of the first cards of the major arcana. We have the Fool. Now this Fool is one of only two cards in the deck which has a human figure or silhouette. The other one would be the Tower. And I think that's kind of interesting. I would think that if they were going to leave out human figures, they would leave them all out. But we do have the human figure on the card, the Fool. And this is a great Fool card. I love the sense of playfulness and naivete and a joyful beginning of a journey. So I like that Fool card. Next we have this very powerful Magician. Now the hand is the part in magic where you manifest something when you're creating magic, and I love how this hand has all the symbols of the elements tattooed or maybe actually even carved into the hand. This is the same as on the card back, you know, all the element symbols. We've got the wand, the sword, the cup, and the pentacle, along with the lemniscate infinity symbol. And of course, if you go back to the origin of the word manifestation, it comes from manus, or hand. So that's a very powerful image to me, very primal, and perfect for the Magician. I love the imagination. That's a great Magician card. Then we move on to the High Priestess. I love this mirror. It's as if you're being instructed to look within. And when you do look within, you don't see yourself, you see your soul. So I really like that High Priestess. Again, a very imaginative card. And here we have the Empress, again without a figure, but you've got the same, the sense of the card. We've got the sense of abundance, nature, creativity, with the forest scene there. So there is the Empress. Now I didn't mention it earlier, but you might have noticed that these backs are not necessarily reversible. So if you read with reversals, this might not be for you. This is also a deck that might be kind of difficult for newcomers to tarot because in particular the thing that you might have an issue with is the court cards. They don't have any pictures of people on them. They have symbols of elemental symbols or symbols that were chosen for the particular suit. They have maybe a raven or another animal, so it's a little difficult if you're a beginning reader. You might take a little extra effort to kind of relate to the cards in the traditional Rider-Waite way. But I like these cards because I feel that they tap into your intuition and allow your reading to be more from the heart. So let's continue on here. We have the Emperor. I really like this Emperor card. You get the feeling of strength, stability, order. This crown is a recurring theme in the deck here. The crown and the sword. The Hierophant. See, once again, we don't have a person in this image. We have a lamp, which would usually you might associate that lamp with the Hermit. But I think it's unusual, and I kind of like that they do use it to represent the Hierophant, because the Hierophant is sort of a search for your it's an inner struggle, searching for the way you need to form your path in life. And do you go the conformity route? Do you go your own way? You know, you're kind of looking for guidance. And it also can indicate a mentor or someone who's a teacher. So that's a great representation for that. Here we have the Lovers, a couple of elk or deer locked in an embrace, so that's quite nice. Moving on here, we have the Chariot, and represented by, I don't know if those are dragons or griffons, but you've got the two different colors, the two opposing forces, ready to pull the chariot and go in the direction that you will. Here we have the hand symbol again, manifestation for strength. Simple, clear, and direct. Love the images in this deck. And now here we have the Hermit, and that one does have a lamp also. But then you've got this woodsy symbol here, the tree, and the sense of being inside, seclusion, retreat. So there's the Hermit. Moving along, we have a really beautiful Wheel of Fortune. It represents the wheel of the year. It's got the 4 seasons there: fall, winter, spring, and summer, the oak leaves. And then we have Justice. And this is another cool card. It's got representations of all the elements there. We've got a feather for air, we've got a wand, we've got water, goblet there, and we've also got a representation of wealth or pentacles. And even though these would appear to be heavier, you've got to weigh them against these. These are not physically heavier, but perhaps more weighty, more worthy. So there's Justice. Here we have the Hanged Man, Raven. Pretty cool. I've never seen a raven hang like that from a tree, but what the heck. And next we move on. Here's Death. We've got the crown there again. Death, regeneration. We've got a beautiful representation of Temperance, a mixing or a blending. So there's something had been mixed or blended into this liquid here. Then we have, for the Devil, we have a mask. So you've sort of, you're reminded that you need to honor your authentic self and not wear a mask. not let yourself be clouded with the things in the world that don't really matter. So there's the devil. Okay, here is the tower. So we've got the aftermath of the lightning strike or whatever it was that causes the decimation of the tower. Your world comes crashing down. I love this star. It looks like you're looking at the Milky Way, and then there's water here reflecting. As above, so below. Really beautiful star. It's one of my all-time favorite star cards. Here we have the moon, illusion or dreams. Next we have the sun. I love that representation of the bright essence. It's within your hands, reminding us that our destiny is in our own hands. Here we have the recurring theme of the crown again, this time with the book. Reminds you of the myth of how everybody's name is written in the judgment book. So there we have judgment. And then here we have the world. And even though the cycle has been completed and your journey has been successful and you've completed the journey, you're reminded that there is another road ahead. Several roads. So I like how that card is done as well. Now for those who were wondering, I did do a deck walkthrough of this deck and I have it up on YouTube. I did it yesterday at my home, but I was not satisfied with the way I did it, and I did post it on YouTube already. I don't know if I'm going to leave the original or take it down and just replace it with this one. I may just leave them both up, what the heck. But this is what I like to do when I do a walkthrough. I like to compare the minor arcana, all the same numerological value cards together. So here we have all the aces: cups, coins, swords, and wands. The cups suit has pretty much presents water or representations of water type ideas in the cards. And then the coins suit, the element associated with that is earth. So we have a lot of plants, flowers, that type of thing. And then swords is associated with air, intellect, communication. So we've got hands in those cards. And then wands are associated with fire. And there are a lot of representations of fire in the wands suit. So here we have all the aces. Love these aces. They're great. And I think I said in my other walkthrough yesterday that the deck was matte. It's definitely not matte. It's very glossy. The cards are very slick and slippery. Here we have the twos. Two of cups, coins, swords, and wands. So all very unique. The two buds, two hands bound, the two wings of the raven in front of the fire, and two of cups is a pair of ravens. Very sweet. I hope you guys enjoy looking at the cards with the numerological values together. I really enjoy looking at them that way. So that's how I'm going to present them. Okay, here we have the three of cups, the three ravens interacting there, three of coins. We have the three buds and the three energy symbols above them, three of swords, swords piercing the hands, and three of wands. We've got kind of a little ember of a fire there, and we've got the three ravens perched on three wands. So quite well done, this deck, I would say. Now moving along to the fours. We have four of cups, which I love. It's two ravens looking at the reflection in the water. Four of coins. We've got the rose stems and thorns, but no flowers. Four of coins. Four of swords. Restful impression, that's very Rider-Waite. And the four of wands. Celebratory or an achievement. You've reached an early goal in your pursuit of your your endeavor, and you're taking a little celebratory pause there. That's the fours. Here we have the fives, 5 of cups. We've got 2 ravens and then 3 feathers from the 3 that have departed for whatever reason. 5 of coins. We've got the petals of the rose falling. 5 of swords. We've got some feathers falling there out of the hand. Again, the hand is in every card in this particular suit. And then we have the 5 of wands. Fiery conflict, as one would expect. And I can see a face in this card, an eye there and an eye there and a mouth there. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way or if it's just my perception. Okay, there's the fives. Now we have the sixes, 6 of cups. We've got the 6 bubbles there, water bubbles. 6 of coins, or 6 buds. 6 of swords. Looks like the hands are holding some water. And the 6 of wands, we've got the Rider-Waite laurel wreaths there to symbolize triumph or achievement, acclaim. Now we have the 7 of cups. The ravens are collecting all different items. They don't really know which one is most important. 7 of coins, tending something that's growing. 7 of swords, I love that card. Fingers crossed. What I say is not going to be what I do. And 7 of wands, protecting the fires and protecting what you've worked for from being destroyed. All right. Next, the 8s. Cups. So the ravens have gone, leaving behind just feathers to show that they were there. So it's similar to Rider-Waite. You have to know Rider-Waite to know what you're comparing it to. But if you've familiarized yourself with the Rider-Waite symbolism, then you're going to do fine with this deck as well. 8 of coins. Your hard work has shown accomplishment for you. You've been successful with your garden, your job, whatever you're working on. 8 of swords. You're sort of bound by your own actions or words or deeds. And then we have the 8 of wands, swift activity. All right, moving on to the 9s. The 9s are a nice achievement card as well. So we have 9 of cups, symbolizing happiness, and you can see the ravens in their happy place in the sky. 9 of coins, we've got a beautiful bloom, kind of the pinnacle of what you achieved in your gardening. 9 of swords, which is traditionally a unpleasant thoughts, anxiety, nightmares. And 9 of wands. A lot of effort being put into something, a hard row to haul. Difficulties, but you're hanging in there. Okay. Here we are, the 10s. 10 of cups, which is 10 ravens, a big happy family. 10 of coins, we have the 10 beautiful roses. Success and achievement in the material world. 10 of swords, that's to show that the typical 10 of swords meaning is you're done with this situation. It's a transformative card. You're through and you're moving on to the next cycle. And I really love this 10 of wands. To me, the 10 of wands typically is supposed to represent oppression or being overburdened. But to me, it's the completion of a cycle of something that you've worked toward. And I like how this circle of the antlers there kind of represents to me a cycle that's been completed. That's just my interpretation of the card. Now on to the pages, and the pages always remind me of the aces in a deck. They're kind of similar. The pages symbolizing youthful energy and the initiatory phases of a project or a goal or something you're working towards. So we've got the raven eggs for the Page of Cups. We've got a seedling for the Page of Coins. We've got a Page of Swords. To me, this looks like a writing quill. And the shadow, you can see there is a sword, the element symbol. But the Page of Swords looks like it's getting ready to write something with the quill pen. I like that. And swords do represent communication and the written word, so that's a great, great card. And then we have Page of Wands, the spark or the initiation. Okay, then we have the Knights. Knights are generally an action card. So Knight of Cups, Knight of Coins, we've got a spade. Knight of Swords, we've got insight, perception. It might be a little painful and hurt, but you're getting to the root of the problem. And then we have the Knight of Wands. He's really working on the project, making a lot of good progress. There are the Knights. Next we have the Queens. The Queen of Cups. So we've got a feather with the feminine moon symbol. Then we have Queen of Coins, where we have a beautiful rose garland. Queen of Swords, truth and honesty. And Queen of Wands. I love this Queen of Wands. She's a fire maiden. The fire is just emanating from her. And on to the Kings. We have the King of Cups. And each one of these, as you can see, is very basic with the representation of the element for that suit. So cups, coins, or the earth symbol, swords, and wands. And the antlers represent wands in many decks. No fire though. I don't know. She kind of switched back and forth between fire and antlers in this suit. So there you have it. That was Raven's Prophecy Tarot Take 2. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time.